Often if you study about Buddhism, one of the hardest things to find out is what Buddhists actually do. Generally speaking, a lot of media concerning Buddhism actually tell you things like the life of the Buddha or what the Buddhist teachings are, but you don't find out very easily what Buddhists actually do. And this is probably one of the most important things which you need to find out if you are studying Buddhism at school in order to be sensitive or even appreciative of the qualities or the practices which Buddhist children or Buddhist personalities you may meet are actually following. And there are three main practices which Buddhists try to follow in their life. Firstly, generosity. Secondly, self-discipline in the form of keeping 5 rules which we call precepts. And thirdly, by mental cultivation of various sorts. You may be interested to know that in Buddhism we tend to talk more about practice than we do about belief. And the reason for that is that we have a confidence that it's through the goodness which we actually do, rather than what we believe, that we can improve ourselves. So we have to do the footwork in terms of the practice, rather than simply believing in a higher being or a higher entity. The footwork actually comes back to ourselves. So if you think you're a Buddhist, how good a Buddhist depends on how much of Buddhism you practice, rather than on how much you believe in Buddhism. And the odd thing is that some people who don't even call themselves Buddhists, but who practice a lot of Buddhist things, may actually be better Buddhists than those who call themselves Buddhists but just sit around at home. So we look first of all at what we mean by the word generosity in the context of Buddhism. Again, in this picture, you can see actually young monks, who we call novices, out and about in the morning, this time with their alms bowl not concealed, and they're receiving the gifts from well-wishers who have prepared food to give to those novices in the street. On the subject of novices, it's worth pointing out that in many Asian countries, some young boys choose the career path to actually go into monastic education from an early age. So instead of going to a normal primary or secondary school, those novices will go to monastic schools where, in addition to learning things like geography and mathematics, they will learn about Buddhism and about the scriptural languages like Pali as well. So it's a way of life, and when those novices come to the age of 20, then they can make a choice what they want to do with the rest of their lives. For those who don't want to go further in the monkhood, then they can maybe become farmers or some other vocation which they've had training for. So it's a decision which they make at the age of 20. Generosity in Buddhism is a very wide topic. It's much broader than, let's say, charity in the Christian tradition, because charity in Christianity normally refers to giving to the poor or to the sick. But in Buddhism, we give for many different reasons, not just out of sympathy or out of desperation, or to help out people who don't seem to be able to help themselves, all the things which we normally call welfare work. But we may give to people because we want them to be our friend. We may give to them because we respect them. So there are many different reasons for giving, and the reason why people like to support the monks is not because they think the monks are pathetic and they can't help themselves, but rather because they feel that those monks are doing a good job and they want to show their appreciation. You can give gifts, but some people who can't afford to give gifts may even be able to practice generosity by giving their time to help out other people, especially for worthy causes. Even helping out around the home. Let's say that you are a dutiful son or daughter, you can help your parents around the home. Even that is a form of generosity. Teaching others, especially about things which are going to be useful for their lives, this is something which is also a form of generosity. You may think your own teachers are just being paid to do their job, but a lot of what they do actually goes above and beyond the call of duty. And if you talk about the long hours which the teachers have to put in after hours to make sure their pupils and their students understand everything which they're supposed to understand, then this is a form of generosity on the part of the teachers. In fact, they are doing a very altruistic job. And last but not least, one of the most difficult forms of giving, and the word actually tells you this in the etymology, is to forgive other people. Sometimes it's easy to give something or to give your help to a person, but it's not so easy to let go of your anger towards a person who has upset you in the past. And if you are able to forgive someone by letting go of that anger, then that is seen also as one of the biggest gifts, or one of the most difficult gifts which is possible to give.